The world is a tapestry woven with both beauty and terror. Moments of tranquility can give way to chaos in the blink of an eye. We'll explore the unpredictable power of nature, witnessing events that leave us both awestruck and humbled. Volcanic gases, sometimes mixing with water, create a muddy slurry. A seemingly small crack in the earth. But within moments, the ground gives way, a torrent of mud and debris released. The power is overwhelming, the consequences devastating. Nature's raw power can be breathtaking. A testament to the forces shaping our world. Yet amid the destruction, human resilience shines. During the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, heavy rains caused the collapse of the Edenville Dam in double-towing vehicles that add up to 80 feet long. Now that's a pro. Don't try this on the road or anywhere, unless you have family. Because family is everything, idiot pedestrians. Recovery efforts were swiftly made with roads, especially in the Rizark Highway, being restored after 10 hours of relentless work. Hello, and welcome to my daily disaster news channel. Most incredible forces. Now, there's a different phenomenon that is similar to a volcano. It's great to have someone hug you tightly, but how would you react if your car will suffer unexpected consequences? This giant vortex looks like a tap from the sky, charging energy from the ground, creating a powerful and awe-inspiring sight. What did it been okay if he had an emergency? Did no damage to anyone or anything. It just serves as a reminder of one of the many things that they don't plan. But in other areas, luck wasn't on their side. 3 vehicles were caught in the flood, and several streets and homes were submerged. The root cause of the river overflow was the lack of regular dredging. Look at this, bud. You need to run with me, okay? Be ready to run with me, buddy. This is crazy. Look at all the roofs, bro. After a scorching summer, dark gray clouds in the sky signaled something unusual. I didn't think that taking out the trash could be so difficult until I watched this video. With the rising gas prices these days, this is starting to look like a bright idea. Authorities promptly initiated recovery efforts and upgraded flood warning and risk management systems to prepare for similar cases in the future. The camera started shaking wildly as the winds ripped through the yard, carrying everything away. Winter comes with magical moments when thousands of Upon seeing it, he did what most of us would have done, and got his. As water flooded through Basker, some houses in the village were submerged. The flood caused by Hurricane Helene forced Oliveira's family to make a tough call to evacuate. But first, let's start with a soft cushion palate cleanser. This squirrel seems to like the bird feeder. You are not mistaken. Skokomish River salmon actually crossed the line after heavy rains. The long-term effects on the city and its inhabitants will be felt for years to come. The fuel tank, after being emptied, can suddenly be distorted by pressure differences. Prepare yourself mentally. Within minutes, a tsunami over 10 meters high hit Sendai Airport, flooding the entire area. Oh, no, it's hard to believe where did that wool come from. Always be careful with these free wheels. He is so skilled at this job that he can make such precise throws. How admirable. It was a terrifying moment that could have resulted in some serious injuries to the driver and the passenger. Luckily, no one was injured. But what happens when some residents are happily gaming in the middle of the flood? When your dream is to become a dancer, but your family pressures you into doing a government job. The flood caused by Hurricane Helene forced Oliveira's family to make a tough call to evacuate. But first, let's start with a soft cushion palate cleanser. The funniest moments have been caught on camera. Ready, because the National Weather Service stated that the flood's dark water was caused by the 2012 Waldo Canyon and 2013 Black Forest fires. Regular rains often contribute to refreshing and lush scenery. Everyone is safe. Everyone was safe. The weather suddenly changed its behavior. As the couple drove along, everything seemed to be fine. That is until they rounded a turn and saw a few trees down in the other lane. Cautiously, they went around, but saw up ahead that there were a few other trees down. It wasn't until they slowed down even further that they realized the danger that they were in. In the blink of an eye, all the trees started falling. She needs help. Can anyone help her? Several regions. Authorities have issued evacuation orders and warn of potential. Oh my God, holy. Inundated homes that had previously been recovering from the impacts of Hurricane Ian 2 years earlier at the peak of the storm. This cat is proof that many things are better seen from afar. If you also find it interesting with the unexpected and funny. Perhaps the homeowner also had to laugh when watching the energetic and humorous performance of the delivery guy. I really admire those who have devoted their lives to work in the sea. Their resilience and courage in the face of storms and challenges are admirable. Buildings and vehicles, forcing many residents to evacuate their homes due to the danger of flooding. A sudden landslide occurred right on the tunnel and was recorded by the dashcam. Rocks and soil fell down blocking the road, reminding us of the importance of always being alert when moving through difficult terrain. He went from having to pay a ticket to having to fix his truck, the tow truck, and still paying the ticket. What a genius! Aren't we glad that at least there's a homeless guy out there with a new mattress to sleep on? The airflow from an airplane engine when starting is much stronger than you think. The city quickly deployed heavy machinery and rescue teams to clear the streets and control the floodwaters, preventing further loss of life and property damage. Impressive. Leading to the dam's total collapse. Satellite images from that day captured a thick red stream of waste flowing into the pond, sweeping debris into a nearby pet. The flood caused significant property damage and disrupted daily activities for the city's residents. A phenomenon called a sundog. Want to know a quick and cost-free way to turn your car into a convertible? The parking lot is flooded with hail. There you go, no extra charge. The long-term effects on the city and its inhabitants will be felt for years to come. Well, are you impressed with the ingenious collecting method? Two guys went to wash their car, but unexpectedly received a bonus of a. Everyone is safe. Rushing floodwaters destroyed many roads, including the park's entrances, isolating some areas and forcing closures. The city quickly deployed heavy machinery and rescue teams to clear the streets and control the floodwaters. Impressive. You win at life. This guy was setting his truck up for a road disaster. Between January 24th and 25th, 2024, an unexpected disaster struck as the dam at the site gave way. One of the main culprits was a weather phenomenon called La Niña. Interesting behavior has attracted a lot of eyes. Please take a moment. Don't be sad anymore. Look at the sea. There are few things in the world more relaxing than an afternoon drive down a mountain road. This guy was setting his truck up for a road disaster. It's best to admire them taking off from afar to ensure safety. A giant snake stopped traffic and shocked commuters. Majestic mountains can be knocked down by Mother Nature in a split second without any warning signs. The beautiful scenery and characteristic turquoise water of the Nook River. A rainbow cloud. Some drivers make mistakes, while some others are simply just blind. The snowstorm is howling in the north, bringing with it powerful ferocity. The two young men couldn't help but be surprised when the pickup truck generously gave away an electric bicycle. Everyone is safe. Always stay focused and calm when driving to avoid unfortunate situations with the wrong accelerator pedal. Fortunately, no one. Wow! The flooding caused by when your dream is to become a dancer, but your family pressures you into doing a government job. As if performing an artistic performance created a scene that was both astonishing and clearly demonstrated the wonder of the natural world. What? The door is located right under our feet. Calm down. Two grizzly bears were arguing. What happens when you see one and its position on the horizon doesn't move, yet it keeps getting bigger? In a mountainous area, the torrent of water pouring. If you plan to build a house in the mountains, it kept getting bigger. Those of you with golden fish brains should put a reminder label on the lever so you don't forget to pull the handbrake. Luckily, other cars were able to avoid this slippery slope in time. Seriously misaligned. Be sure to click the link on screen now to check out more natural disasters caught on camera. As always, thanks for watching and we'll see you all in the next. Join the party, turning everything into a dramatic furniture chase. In Dangan Bay, schools of fish dance, creating a vibrant scene as if they are celebrating a party under the ocean. During heavy rains. The adorable moments captured by familiar animals will definitely make you laugh out loud. The snowstorm is howling in the north, bringing with it powerful ferocity. Everyone is safe. A rainbow cloud. The flooding and hailstorm in Medellin on March 8, 2023. The storm quickly weakened after landfall, but left a trail of destruction across central Florida. If you plan to build a house in the mountains, be prepared to sometimes have to stay. The information in the video shows an incident in Japan. Typhoon Land has made landfall in Japan, bringing heavy rainfall and strong winds. During heavy rains, water cannot drain easily, and urban river systems. On June 19th, the first tropical storm of the 2024 hurricane season named Alberto impacted Texas. Only caused it to become overly saturated, but the actual texture and consistency of the soil can totally change. Support to those affected by the floods. In the long term, city officials are implementing measures to reduce flood risk and improve the city's resilience to extreme weather events. When it decided to cross the road in South Africa. After the rain, giant sponge cakes suddenly appeared on the surrounded by mountains, whose rivers and streams flow into the Medellin River, which flows through the center of the city. During heavy rains, water cannot drain easily. This phenomenon is often accompanied by loud sounds enough to startle you. In a mountainous area, by the time he realized what was going on, the tornado was pretty much on top of him and his family. In a mountainous area, within minutes, a tsunami over 10 meters high hit Sendai Airport, flooding the entire area, forcing drivers to back off to give way. Two grizzly bears were arguing. Hey, before you hit that accelerator and speed off. A long freight train curving around a river. It seems that parking near a fire. The wonder of the aurora borealis. But within just a day, it transformed dramatically. Raging torrents surged through, carrying debris and mud. The economic. This guy clearly overestimated the power of his SUV. That is too much trailer, my friend. The sheep stared intently at his reflection on the gate, both surprised and impatient, creating a moment that made everyone who witnessed it laugh. As for the homeowner, it's not every day you see a bird hitchhike on your car hood. Can we observe a brief moment of silence for the mailboxes that tried to stand up against the magic school bus? The camera sees the unpleasant scene happening at his beloved home. In a mountainous area. This cat is proof that many things are better seen from afar. The truck driver forgot to close the back door, and as a result, a car parked nearby would have to visit the repair shop. While shopping, this man suddenly heard his favorite music, and his natural reaction spread optimism to everyone. Their picnic quickly turns chaotic when sudden winds. It seems that parking near a fire. Impressive. Curious onlookers stood by, capturing images of water swirling around their cars, unable to enter. Can you tap that subscribe button for more fun videos like this? And hey, if you want to stick around, there are some more videos on your screen. Who needs a siren when your Dutch Shepherd can howl just as loud? A huge and terrifying column of black smoke rose from a volcano in Guatemala. Looks like something right out of a movie scene. Thank you for accompanying us to discover unexpected moments. How do you feel? Please share below the video. Mischievous dog. Dump truck driving 101. Always drop the dump bed when it's empty. Moments recorded on camera. Please comment number 1. Let's admire the wonders that nature has created. Perhaps you will feel a little.
The relentless rain had already begun turning streets into rivers. But what started as a heavy downpour in the small town would quickly escalate into something far beyond imagination. Cars were swept away like toys in a bathtub, becoming trapped and submerged in the rising flood waters. Homes, businesses, and infrastructure were completely at the mercy of this relentless torrent. The flood spread rapidly, engulfing the streets and leaving many stranded. The town was in utter chaos. Residents battled the rising waters, desperately seeking safety. A similar scene unfolded in another area, where a raging torrent tore through the landscape. A small bridge is no match for the force of nature. Flooding from the heavy rains threatened lives and property across multiple areas. The water level rose so rapidly it became impossible to escape in time for many residents. Bridges collapsed, roadways disappeared, and the community was cut off. The scale of destruction left residents shocked and terrified. Across the region, the effects of torrential rains were catastrophic. A bridge, already weakened by flooding, finally gave way. The rushing water carries away tons of debris and earth. And the downpours weren't the only culprit. Landslides brought down mountainsides, blocking roads and burying structures. The scene is one of raw power and destruction. The residents only had moments to react to the approaching disaster. The force of the mudslide was undeniable. In the blink of an eye, the road was covered in tons of earth and debris. Miraculously, the people filming this horrific scene managed to escape injury. Across the world, another powerful storm raged. A massive tornado was witnessed. The immense power of the tornado was evident. The swirling vortex of dust and debris was a terrifying sight. In Luxembourg, another tornado of even greater strength struck on the same day. The devastation in Prudentopolis, Brazil, was severe. Landslides and flooding caused extensive damage. The scale of the disaster is overwhelming. Homes and properties were completely inundated by floodwaters. The rapid rise of the water caught many off guard, leaving them with little to no time to react. In Prudentopolis, Brazil, torrential rains starting on the night of March 6th lasted more than 24 hours. Rivers and streams quickly burst their banks, causing flash floods that swept away everything in their path. The destruction was widespread, with homes, businesses, and infrastructure severely damaged or destroyed. The city's drainage system couldn't handle the volume of water. The abrupt explosion from the volcano was heard while people were preparing their breakfast. Avalanches can also cause catastrophic destruction. This avalanche shows the powerful force of nature. The force of the water was intense. The heavy rains continued throughout the day. Streets transformed into violent rivers of debris and water. These massive tornadoes show the awesome, destructive power of nature. The flood waters were rapidly rising and residents were caught off guard. The storm's impact was immense. A transformer exploded, sending debris flying. The devastation was widespread, with many buildings collapsing under the storm's ferocity. Cars were swept away by the flood waters. The rising water level quickly overwhelmed residents, leaving many stranded and fearing for their lives. Flooding caused extensive damage and loss of life. Homes were destroyed by the surging waves. The force of the storm is evident as a transformer explodes, sending debris high into the air. 2 cars are completely submerged in floodwaters. Another landslide blocked roads and destroyed homes. The power of nature was undeniable. Cars were swept away in the floodwaters, highlighting the need for preparedness and effective disaster response. A massive explosion caused a large plume of smoke. The sheer scale of the disaster was enormous. The intensity of the flood waters caused a bridge to collapse. The rapid rise of the water was unexpected and caused many homes to flood. Rescue crews braved the dangerous floodwaters to help those in need. Flooding turned streets into raging rivers. The intensity of the flooding caught many off guard, leading to significant property damage and fear for the residents' safety. The floodwaters rose rapidly, submerging cars and sweeping debris along. The speed and force of the water were incredibly dangerous. Flooding in another area caused more damage and destruction. The force of the current is undeniable, and the debris being carried along highlights the dangerous conditions. The rising floodwaters damaged or destroyed multiple homes and properties. The river is swollen and raging, showing the immense power of the floods. Homes were quickly flooded by the rising waters. The floodwaters are rapidly rising. Multiple homes and properties were submerged. The amount of debris being carried along in the floodwaters showcases the severity of the flooding. Residents are seen wading through the floodwaters, highlighting the challenges of navigating the disaster zone. The scene showcases the complete disruption and devastation caused by the flood. The flooding also impacted schools. Gedger, an integrated school in the Philippines, saw its graduation ceremony disrupted by the rising floodwaters. Hopefully, the hurdles caused by this disaster wouldn't spoil the joy of this day. A bridge is seen nearly completely submerged, illustrating the severity of the flooding. The floodwaters completely inundated a street and surrounding buildings. The intensity of the currents was dangerous. The flooding was severe, with cars becoming submerged in rapidly rising waters. The strength of the current was a threat to lives and properties. The flooding in Prudentopolis, Brazil, was a large-scale event that the government was slow to respond to. It took several hours before the army and other rescuers reached the city. The floodwaters rose quickly and overwhelmed the area. The 1925 tornado in Missouri caused 241 deaths. This was one of the deadliest weather events in history. The floodwaters caused widespread damage and destruction. Homes were swept away and destroyed by the power of the water. Lightning strikes posed an additional threat during the storm. The floodwaters are shown rising and inundating homes and properties. The streets are transformed into fast-flowing rivers. Flooding caused cars to become submerged in the rising waters. The floodwaters continue to rise and threaten more homes and businesses. A boat is seen struggling to navigate the strong currents. A car is shown driving through floodwaters on a city street. This emphasizes the dangers of driving during a flood event. The relentless downpour further contributed to the flooding. Two tornadoes were confirmed during this massive weather event, with the strongest being ranked F2. The sheer scale of the disaster was immense. The power of the water caused a home to be destroyed. A tsunami shows the immense destructive power of nature. Tornadoes, while a terrifying force of nature, can also be a sight to behold. The power and destruction they leave behind serve as a reminder of nature's force. The floodwaters rapidly inundated this area. The floodwaters continued to rise and threaten homes and properties. The raging currents pose a danger to anyone caught in them. Landslides, another powerful force of nature, pose significant threats. More flooding caused severe damage to homes and properties. A mud volcano shows another destructive power of nature. The power of nature is overwhelming. The sound of the mud volcano is clearly heard. The floodwaters rose quickly and inundated this area, damaging or destroying many homes and properties. A volcano erupts, showing another example of nature's powerful force. Flooding resulted in widespread damage and loss of property. The devastation caused by the tornadoes is shown. The damage to homes is severe. The intensity of the storm is undeniable, as shown by the dark and ominous clouds. More flooding is seen, this time in a residential area. The video is showing the immense impact of the floods. More flooding scenes are shown. Homes and businesses are completely inundated. A home is seen collapsing into the river due to the erosion caused by the flood waters. The floodwaters continue to rise and threaten homes and businesses. A van is seen struggling to navigate the rapidly rising waters. Tornadoes are a powerful force of nature, capable of causing immense damage and destruction. The footage highlights the storm's intensity and scale. The floodwaters are rising rapidly. Cars are becoming submerged in the rising waters. The currents are strong and pose a serious danger. Homes and buildings are seen being damaged or destroyed by the floodwaters. A landslide shows the immense power of nature. The people on the road are seen running to get to safety. Floodwaters are seen rising. Sandbags are put in place to protect against the rising waters, but aren't overwhelmed. The floodwaters are continuing to rise and cause damage to homes and businesses. A landslide shows nature's destructive power. The unstable ground has given way due to heavy rains and erosion. The floodwaters continue to cause widespread damage to homes and buildings. A home is seen collapsing into the heavy rains cause a flash flood. People are seen struggling to get out of harm's way. In the event of a tornado warning, it's essential to take shelter or evacuate immediately. Your life is at stake. The aftermath of the storm showed widespread damage. The debris is seen scattered across the landscape. Landslides and flooding caused extensive damage to homes and properties. Tornadoes are a terrifying force of nature. The floodwaters show the strength and danger of flooding. Tornadoes can cause significant damage in urban areas as well. Flooding poses serious threats to lives and property. This scene highlights the risk of unexpected flooding. A landslide caused a building to collapse. The unstable ground and heavy rains contributed to the disaster. The floodwaters continue to rise and threaten more homes and businesses. A boat is seen struggling to navigate the strong currents. The floodwaters rose quickly, inundating streets and causing damage to buildings and infrastructure. The floodwaters caused damage to a home. The intensity of the current is shown as debris and other objects are being carried along the river. The flooding is severe. Cars are submerged in the rising waters. A landslide has blocked a road. People are seen running away from the approaching disaster. Hail and strong winds caused significant damage. Floodwaters have inundated a street, damaging a guardrail and causing significant damage. The force of the flooding is overwhelming. Homes and businesses are seen struggling to withstand the currents. A tornado shows the immense destructive power of nature. A landslide completely destroys a building. The floodwaters carry away debris and other objects. Another landslide shows the immense power of nature. People are seen running away from the approaching disaster. Tornadoes are a powerful force of nature. The footage shows the immense destructive power of a tornado. An avalanche shows another example of nature's destructive power. Floodwaters rose quickly and overwhelmed the area, even submerging a bus. Tornadoes, while a terrifying force of nature, can be a sight to behold. The footage showcases the intensity of the storm and scale of the damage. A tornado in Elie, Manitoba, shows another example of the immense power of nature. Another landslide shows the devastating impact of heavy rains and erosion. The people are shown running to safety. The heavy rains caused flash floods, which were intensified by the region's challenging terrain. The footage shows the immense power of the water. Flood waters rapidly inundated homes and businesses. Another landslide shows the immense destructive power of nature. The people are shown running away from the approaching disaster.
Nature's raw power, a force that shapes our world, but sometimes unleashes chaos in its wake. From raging floods to earth-shattering tremors, natural disasters remind us of our vulnerability. Yet even in destruction,
car tried to move
we
on the
find
road
resilience.
despite missing a tire.
A car,
Caused
tsunamis, generated by underwater earthquakes, can devastate entire coastlines, their waves reaching terrifying heights.
This car had to stay at the repair shop longer than expected. Fortunately,
One moment, life is normal.
Unassuming
The next,
and
a
calm.
tsunami engulfs
Suddenly,
everything.
A huge wall of water started.
Even animals, driven by instinct, seek refuge from the chaos. Mudslides, triggered by heavy rainfall,
Facts and
can bury
statistics.
entire villages.
Yet,
Their
it's
slow
still
but
quite
relentless
hard to
advance
picture
leaving
what
destruction
all
in their
actually
wake.
happened.
The aftermath of hurricanes, flooded streets, homes submerged, dams overflowing. Communities left to pick up the pieces. Nature's response to threats is often dramatic. A lizard
What would you
displays
do
its
if you
frill,
happened to
a
encounter
reminder of the
an agama
incredible
lizard?
adaptations
A short
of life
distance
on
away,
Earth.
A separate fire was burning when all of a sudden it caught the fumes of the flammable.
Floodwaters inundate streets, turning familiar landscapes into waterways. Cars become boats,
camera
and
out
people
to
wade
start
through the
filming.
currents.
As the tornado ripped through the town, throwing debris hundreds of feet into the air,
Yet, amidst the chaos, life endures. Penguins march across the snow, a reminder of nature's resilience.
So you don't miss any interesting content.
causing them to
Mudslides,
break free
landslides,
fall.
and rough
However,
seas.
there are other times
Nature's
when
power
massive
knows
amounts
no
of
bounds.
rainfall on certain types of soil. Not little did they know that a huge wall of soil, water, and debris was headed right for them. As you can see,
Ships battle the elements, and coastal cities brace for impact. Communities come
Police
together,
have also warned
seeking
to enter
shelter and
basements
support.
underground parking lots as the floodwaters could surge back at any time.
Even in frustration, humor finds its way through, a testament to the human
The
spirit.
car seems pretty happy to be away from him.
The
what
earth
usually
itself
results
shifts,
from such a
reminding us of
phenomenon
the
is
forces
a
at play.
landslide or a mudslide. On August 7th, 2018, in the
Dust storms engulf highways, blurring the lines between earth and sky. Tornadoes rip through neighborhoods, their force tearing apart lives. Cars become submerged, roads disappear under the rising waters. The city of Medellin, Colombia,
is
faces
accustomed to heavy
unprecedented
rains and
rainfall,
flooding, but on
leading to
March 8,
widespread
2023,
devastation.
an unprecedented amount of rainfall, causing
Yet, we find ingenuity and a touch of the absurd.
You're not a private pilot license, but you do have a driver's license. So you find the gray areas.
Mudslides reshape landscapes. Waterfalls become
In the
torrents.
following days, Himachal Pradesh continued to be affected by heavy rains, prompting authorities
And in heartbreak, we find determination.
If you see a
We
lady
improvise,
driving past
adapt,
you with
and
this
carry
much
on.
luggage, just know she broke up with someone and she never wants to have a reason to go back to her partner.
Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going on 215 and close to North 5th. And look what I see, guys. This guy's got a bear.
The tsunami
minute,
strikes,
you're
a
driving
wave
along,
of destruction.
minding your own business. The next, water is pouring over everything in sight, carrying houses, buildings.
Even underwater,
move to a new,
life finds a
safer
way
home.
to adapt, sometimes making use of human waste. Tornadoes, dust storms, blizzards. Nature's fury takes many forms. We persevere even in the harshest conditions. Nature's forces
one day,
reshape the
this
landscape,
famous tourist town
isolating
was completely
communities.
isolated from the outside world.
Close calls and near
Look at
misses.
this guy in those cars.
We are often
They're
lucky.
incredibly lucky to have passed just as the river began to overflow.
We are resilient, rebuilding what's broken.
I'm convinced
We
he
find
built the
humor,
fence.
and sometimes we learn lessons.
Well, these guys took it a notch higher. Just imagine you're late to work and they're like 5 cars ahead of you doing this.
We witness incredible sights, nature's power on full display.
Nature always contains miracles that are difficult to explain. The image of a
The earth
Lawful
breathes
gases of
fire,
the mud
and we stand in awe.
It quickly caught fire, turning into something more reminiscent of the volcanoes that we're used to seeing.
Storms rage, but we find our way through.
Here's
We
a
push
tutorial
boundaries,
on how to
and
keep the
sometimes
tire
we pay the
companies in
price.
business.
Floods reshape the land.
Federal agencies
Volcanoes
had warned
remind
of
us of
safety
the Earth's
risks at
molten
the
heart.
Edenville Dam for years. On May 19th, relentless rainfall led to the dam's breach, causing flooding downstream, including Midland City.
The planet is in constant motion, a reminder of the forces beyond our control. Floods inundate communities. Steam locomotives become symbols of power. Technology march on, sometimes
Need a
defying
Mercedes to get some
expectations.
attention? Think again.
Waterfalls become torrents, landscapes are transformed.
The waterfall in Rustock, Oman is a must-see. But it was caught in an unexpected twist when a flash flood surged down from the mountains.
Nature's artistry is both beautiful and destructive.
Nature claimed everything in its path. As you can see, the ratio of wood to water on the river
Hurricanes
is
batter
nearly
coastlines,
1 to 1.
leaving their mark on communities.
% of the city was inundated due to infrastructure unable to withstand the storm's force. This situation
We watch from afar, grateful for our safety. The storm rages, but the human spirit endures. A volcano erupts in a display of raw power.
Quarry engineers carefully calculate and strictly control every detail at the beginning of the work, ensuring admirable safety and accuracy.
Tornadoes touch down.
Oh my gosh.
Their
look at
force
it. Oh my
mesmerizing
gosh.
and
Oh my
terrifying.
gosh. Those are our neighbors' houses. Oh my gosh.
Nature's wonders
gosh.
sometimes become agents of destruction.
Oh my gosh.
Flood surge. Cars become helpless. Fire and wind combine in a fiery vortex. floodwaters engulf everything, yet life finds a way. Dams overflow. Communities face the consequences.
Despite the water surging to a record-breaking 8 feet, the dam held firm.
Lava flows,
and
mudslides
incredibly
carve
deadly
paths.
to those who find themselves in their path. If you enjoyed this,
The aftermath is stark.
Water
A reminder of the
from
forces at
flowed
play.
down to the Sanford Dam 10 miles south.
Cities flood, hailstorms batter. Nature's beauty can turn
Cordovan
perilous
Falls,
in
reaching
an
a height of
instant.
around 200 feet, is one of the biggest falls in Tamil Nadu, known for its strong, year-round flow, powered by rivers from the Western Ghats.
Advised to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep abreast of the most important changes on the planet.
Cars capsize, trees weep. Volcanoes erupt, trees fall.
lava from deep within the earth. Mud volcanoes are explosions of underground hydrocarbon. Luckily, after everything settled down, they realized that their home was only sideswiped. Everyone
residents of potential floods. The
Cities
flooding and
face the
hailstorm
challenges,
that struck
adapting
Medellin
and rebuilding.
was a stark reminder of
We find joy and resilience amidst the chaos.
Gil, please comment number 1 right away.
Tornadoes, a force of nature,
we know
can
that it
change
has the power
lives in
to
an
totally
instant.
destroy anything that is in its path. Yet, when we catch sight of one, we can't look away.
Floods carve new paths,
Before
reshaping the
flash
landscape.
floods, it was a tranquil summer riverside scene. Once again,
The
storm
ocean's
swept
power
across
knows no
Switzerland,
bounds.
flooding the land as the mighty rivers split over their banks.
Cars struggle against the current, and we watch in disbelief. We explore the
Saturated
mysteries of
sandy
nature's
soils.
phenomena.
And if you think you can only see it in science fiction movies, you are wrong.
Roads disappear, and life changes in an instant. We learn to adapt, finding humor in unexpected
This video is
situations.
the perfect explanation for the mystery of the missing clothesline in your home. Turns out, the culprit is funnier than you thought.
Communities
a
come
haunting
together to
scene.
help those in need.
tirelessly to rescue stranded residents, evacuate affected areas and provide medical assistance to those in need. Local government officials set up emergency shelters and provided financial support.
We find beauty in unexpected places, even in the aftermath. Accidents happen, nature's fury is unpredictable.
The reason the car had to visit the repair shop was recorded on camera.
As the video
Tsunamis,
continues,
floods,
you can see
and
other
natural
areas
disasters
where
remind us of
everything
our
is going
place in the
normal,
world.
When all of a sudden, torrents of water come in, followed by
We face challenges with strength and resilience.
After 36 hours of incessant rain, floodwater surged into the city without warning. Parking lots were
Sometimes we make questionable decisions. We find creative solutions, and we are awestruck by nature's power.
She must have thought she was in GTA or something. In any case, people like her don't deserve to own a driver's license. Somehow, no one was harmed.
We witness incredible
the
sights,
heavy rain
moments of wonder and
intensified the
fear.
water flow, turning the once peaceful scene into a raging flood.
Human
Smoke at
activity
Heathrow
and
Airport,
natural events
startling
intersect,
many people.
sometimes with dramatic results. We are
The
reminded
once
of the
gentle
importance of
stream now
safety
roared,
and preparedness.
Raged with an intensity never witnessed before. Tourists quickly scrambled to find shelter as the water rose rapidly.
We learn from our mistakes, and we marvel at
Important
human
note is that
ingenuity.
You should not park your car right next to a fire hydrant on the side.
Did he really just jaywalk across a busy highway for a metal scrap that a truck would have rolled into dust? Or is he really
Nature's
just,
power
imagine
is both
driving
destructive
down the road
and
on a regular
awe-inspiring.
day and suddenly nature pulls a fast one on you? This happened approximately 40 kilometers from the capital city of Guatemala.
We witness the forces that shape our world. We capture these moments,
At
sharing them with the
2:46
world.
p.m., a powerful 9.0 magnitude earthquake struck off the eastern coast of Japan, generating a massive tsunami heading towards the shore.
We find
As
wonder,
the Al Saruj
humor,
Dam
and
unleashed
resilience
its
in the
fury,
face of adversity.
Heavy rain upstream mercilessly shattered the roads to the waterfall.
Tornado! Tornado! I told you guys. Look. We got.
This is a beautiful place.
Though no injuries were reported, many vehicles were pelted with mud and left damaged. This caused a long traffic jam to stretch
Nature's
endlessly
challenges
down
test
the
our
highway.
limits.
A free shower
We find
experience from the
unexpected
automatic
solutions,
car wash system.
pushing the boundaries
An
of what's
unexpected
possible.
clean phase.
We capture moments of awe and wonder. Tornadoes and dust storms, a reminder of nature's force.
Please be extremely careful when driving in this harsh weather.
We find ingenuity and humor in the face of
Idea
adversity.
makes me unable to stop laughing. In fact, I couldn't believe my eyes. Creating a majestic
Nature's
and
wonders
powerful
and
scene
surprises.
that amazed everyone who witnessed it. The first rain in Uttarakhand caused a bridge to completely collapse.
We witness the power and beauty of nature's forces.
The flash floods not only resulted in significant material damage, but also disrupted the daily.
Sometimes we make questionable
What
choices.
happens when an outdoor umbrella meets a glass table? Oh no, helplessness appeared on the man's face.
Nature's unpredictability challenges us to adapt.
Potential flooding and landslides.
We learn to navigate the unexpected.
The typhoon has led to widespread transportation.
An unexpected incident occurred at a radio repair shop when a device malfunctioned, recorded by a surveillance camera.
To date,
Tsunamis
the
and
2011
landslides
Japan
are a reminder of
tsunami
nature's
is one
power.
Of the worst natural disasters of the last 20 years. Town of Chamoson, Switzerland. A huge
We travel,
hailstorm
we
had just
explore,
rolled
and we
through
find the
pummeled
extraordinary.
town and the surrounding areas with giant chunks of ice.
We witness the
Now I
power of
see why
storms,
Delta
and we
Airlines
are
are so
reminded
slow.
of our vulnerability. Dams
Once
fail,
again,
cities
the
flood,
experts
but
were
we
spot on.
persevere.
The Nolichucky River reached its peak and overflowed by Saturday afternoon.
Nature challenges us,
Coupled with
tests
drainage
us,
systems
and
overload,
reminds us of our
resulting
place in the
widespread
world.
flooding across Milan.
Seeing this spider web, you might think that an army of super spiders
We witness destruction, we adapt, and we
including the
rebuild.
Coast Guard and local fire departments, have been deployed for search and rescue operations.
To all the snowplow drivers out there, thank you for doing what you do and working the mad, weird hours you work.
The blinding dust from the rock slide in Kinor was enough to terrify witnesses and make them rush back home to find safety.
We find ingenuity, humor, and resilience.
It's two things. Either sheer stupidity, or he was ready to end his life.
Nature surprises, both big and small.